Welcome, guys, to another episode of Comics with Bonix. And today we have a special video series I've been doing for quite a while now. In the past, I've done Spider-Man, all my Spider-Man keys in my collection. And I've also done all my Hulk keys in my collection. Today we're focusing on one of my favorite franchises in the Marvel Universe. It is X-Men related mutants. We are going to be showing all my keys in my collection that are mutant related and X-Men related. As you guys can see from some of my pop figurines here, wanted to add a little bit of figurine decoration display to this video, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And also, if you guys are interested in a lot of these keys, wanted to provide you some information on the upcoming show that I'm going to be having a vendor booth at. It is Near Mint Sundays on November 5th, 2023, and it is in Anaheim, California, very close to Disneyland, and it is going to be going on from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm going to be providing some information on this show in the description below. If you guys want to come down to Southern California, hang out with the family at Disneyland, and why not go to an all comic book show here in beautiful Orange County, California. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show these books. I'm going to be showing the keys from chronological order in the order of newest to my oldest X-Men key. So let's get started. The first up is going to be, pretty sure everybody's familiar with this key. It is New Mutants 98 from February of 1991. It is the first appearance of Deadpool. This one is one of the most graded in the CGC census, and this one's in a pretty high grade too. It's a 9.6 white pages, very common book. However, it is very sought after still. A lot of copies of this back in the 90s. This one came in 91. One of the first books when I think of nostalgia from collecting in the 90s. One of the most popular mutant characters in Deadpool. So this is a classic from 1991, New Mutants 98. And speaking of Copper Age classics, this is another one. First appearance of Gambit. It is Uncanny X-Men number 266. And the first appearance of Gambit. This is the first full appearance. There's also the other book that came out, which is considered the cameo of Gambit, which came out before this one. This one is his first cover appearance. This one's a more sought after book. Great cover. And this one comes in a 9.4 in white pages. And most of these books I'm showing today will be available at Near Mint Sundays. If you guys are interested, I will be giving priority to the sales of people that show up to that show. So another good one that is part of the X-Men collection. And here's another classic, one of my favorites when I was growing up, New Mutants 87. And this is the first appearance of Cable. And so far we have two books that were drawn by Rob Liefeld. One of the influential artists when I was growing up in the 90s. So definitely saw a lot of these books up on the walls of my local comic book stores. And I felt like it was always expensive, even for me. Like as an 11-year-old, I couldn't really afford anything more than $10. So this one was always a nice wall book to look at, and definitely a must-have for a mutant collector. And moving along, this next one is an affordable X-Men key. It is X Factor number 24, the first appearance of Archangel. I think it's Archangel. This one is affordable. I think it's less than $20 in high grade, so you can definitely find this book raw out in the wild for pretty cheap. Sometimes you can find it for like $5 to $10 even. And great cover. It's part of the X Factor series, and yeah, I've always loved Archangel, and a pretty cool mutant key. And another key from that X Factor series, gotta have a great villain in there, which is the first appearance of Apocalypse. This is X Factor number 6 in a 9.4 with white pages. Speaking of affordable, this is probably one of the most affordable keys you can get for any X-Men related villain or hero that is a big part of the X-Men lore. Apocalypse is a huge part of the X-Men, and being that this book is probably under $100 in this grade is pretty astonishing, because it's just a great key, great cover, have the X-Men on there. Just a classic book for great price. And now we're moving on to some Bronze Age books. We've done the copper, so now we're on to the bronze, the next one. And again, we're going in chronological order. This one is X-Men number 101, first appearance of Phoenix. And this one is a great looking copy in an 8.0 with white pages. This one is always one of my favorite Bronze Age books, and I actually have this one for sale. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, I'm trying to consolidate all my books to just 40 books, and unfortunately this one falls out of those top 40, but still one of my favorite books. I'd hate to sell it, but it is going to be for sale at Near Mint Sundays. Just a gorgeous cover by Dave Cockrum and Chris Claremont's story. And this is a recent acquisition. This one, I've always loved this book always wanted it in a high grade. This is X-Men 94, the first time the new team appears in their own series. And this one is also an early appearance of all the team members. This is actually a second appearance of Nightcrawler, Storm, Colossus, all those heroes on the front, and I think it's second full appearance of Wolverine as well. So pretty important book in the X-Men series. And before this, all the X-Men issues were reprints. I think it was I want to say it was like 67 to 93 were all reprints. So this is the first time they continued the X-Men story. Very, very important to the X-Men collector. So I have this in a 9.0. This one won't be for sale, but I want to show another copy that will be for sale. So if you guys are interested in picking up a gorgeous book for yourself, this one will be for sale. This one is a 5.5 in white pages. Gorgeous looking 5.5. So this one will be available. It's a duplicate copy I have. And so if you guys are interested, come on out to Near Mint Sundays and you'll see this one available. So I love that book there. So we're getting into some big keys now. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please go ahead and hit the like button. And also if you guys are new here, please hit the subscribe so you guys can catch some of my future videos. So the next one is one of the biggest keys I have in my X-Men collection. It is Giant Size X-Men number 1, the first appearance of the new team, Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Thunderbird. And this is the second full appearance of Wolverine. and this is in a high grade 8.0 off-white to white pages. And this one is a great looking copy. It's very nice white cover and very strong reds and yellows and blues. Absolutely love this cover, and one of my favorite books in my collection. This one won't be for sale, but absolute keeper for the X-Men collector as well. So with that one, with the Bronze Age, that one is probably the second best book in the Bronze Age, and the number one book in the Bronze Age is none other than Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine, and this one is in a 7.5 with off-white to white pages. Just an iconic book for pretty much all comic collectors, even if you're not a huge X-Men or Wolverine fan. You've pretty much had experience with this type of book and knowing its importance. This was one of my first books that kind of propelled my collecting to the next level. When you get these type of books in your collection, you feel like it just brings you a certain type of joy that not many books can do for you. So it's kind of like a curse in the same way, because your standards then get so high that it's hard to kind of feel the same about certain type of books. But this is definitely one of those that brings me a lot of joy. So right now it is a keeper in my collection. All right, so now we're hopping over to the Silver Age. We have about 6 or 7 books left, I think, about 6. So now we are going to all the way to the Silver Age, getting some big keys now. The next one is a recent acquisition as well. It is X-Men number 14, and this is in a high grade 8.0 with off-white to white pages. It is the first appearance of the Sentinels, and this is drawn by Jack Kirby and story written by Stan Lee. This came out in November of 1965. Just an amazing cover. This always gives me the nostalgia of the X-Men cartoon back in the 90s. The Sentinels were a huge part of that cartoon, so being that I'm a huge X-Men fan, I have to have this key as a keeper, and this one is a nice grade to boot as well. 8.0 is definitely a keeper for my collection. And the book that came out right before that issue, well, a couple issues before that, was number 12, X-Men number 12, the first appearance of the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is my second favorite villain in the X-Men series, and this one is in a 6.0 with creamed off-white pages. Always loved this cover. When I came back to the hobby back in 2018, this was one of the top 5 books that I wanted in my collection, because I feel like this is pretty affordable compared to some of the big keys, and being that it's just a stunning cover and it's an important villain to the X-Men series, an absolute stunning book, and I'm so grateful to have this one. All right, we are getting to the top books now, guys. We have 4 left, and the next few books are going to be some awesome single-digit X-Men books. The next one is a nice copy of X-Men number 4. This is the first appearance of the Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. This is also the very second appearance of Magneto. And this one I recently acquired a few months ago. I have this, the reason I have this in a raw copy is because I acquired it from the trade. I'm still undecided whether I want to send it in or not. I probably will send it in because it's pretty expensive, this book, in a mid-grade. I'm thinking this is about a 4 to a 5.0, and it's just a nice looking book. I want to preserve it, and it's a nice copy with very, very nice colors as well, and just an awesome book. Huge first appearances in this one as well. All right, so we're getting to some of the top books in my X-Men collection. Are you guys ready for the next books? These ones are the cream of the crop when it comes to X-Men collecting. The next one is also an awesome book that I recently acquired. It's X-Men #3, first appearance of Blob. This one is roughly around a 3.5. Maybe it might get a 4.0 with a press and clean, but very, very nice colors on this one too. It's not too sometimes you see these copies very faded or the colors are off, but this one for a lower grade presents super nice and pretty big key at a very affordable price too. You can get this one for, you can probably find a copy of this for less than $500 in lower to mid grade. I'm probably not mid grade, probably like 3.0 to 4.0 in less than $500, which I think is a pretty good deal when it comes to the first 3 issues of X-Men. First appearance of Blob, pretty nice book. And we got 2 left. Obviously, you guys probably know which issues those are. #2, X-Men #2, the second appearance of the X-Men, first appearance of the Vanisher. With this one, not many go for sale, even though it's not too expensive. I don't see many X-Men #2s go for sale, so you can probably get it for anywhere from like $400 to $500 in this grade. And this one, I'm thinking it's probably like a 2.5. It's pretty low grade. It has some rough spine issues, but it's all complete. Not many huge color breaking creases or pieces missing. So pretty nice presenting copy for a low grade. Happy to have a #2 in the collection. And for the final book of the collection, this is one of the gems of all of my collecting, and I don't see myself parting with this book anytime soon. It is a copy of X-Men #1, the first appearance of all of these heroes. We got Iceman, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, also known as Jean Grey, Beast, Angel, and we got the villain right on the front, Magneto, and also the first appearance of Professor X. And this one is a 3.0 with off-white pages, also a signature series signed by Stan Lee. And this one is a great looking 3.0. A lot of times you see on the right edge clear when there's chipping on this red area right here. And this copy has no chipping. It's also a very well presenting overall. Colors stand out very nicely, and just super happy with this copy. I acquired this from another collector about a year ago, and I'm happy that I went with a signature series. It just feels right when there's a Stan Lee signature on this book, one of my favorite books in my collection. And this one is the pretty much end goal for any X-Men collector, and definitely a keeper for me. So I appreciate you guys checking out my X-Men keys of my collection. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here. And with that, guys, I want to thank you for joining me here on Comics with Monix. And as always, I want to encourage you to collect your passion. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.